I think we've got a stream
to the Brother Seamus Show
happening.
1, 2,
Reload tab, pin tab, duplicate
Welcome
tab,
to the
move
Brother
tab,
Seamus Show.
and
1,
move to a
2,
new window.
3,
That's the
4.
trick.
Welcome to the
Let's
Brother
get a new
Seamus Show.
tab over here. We're live
1,
on
2, 3, 4.
YouTube.
Welcome to the Brother
I'm
Seamus
working
Show.
on going live on the TikTok
1, 2,
Studio
4.
launcher.
Welcome to the Brother Seamus Show.
Let's see.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's
Welcome
see what the
to the
TikTok
Brother Seamus
installation
Show.
looks like. They must have just
1,
updated.
2, 3, 4.
They must have just updated. Oh, okay, we're going good here. Let's check our audio. Let's go live on TikTok and live on YouTube. Oh, that doesn't look right at all, does it? Let's see. Let's pull that down. You can call us 509-676-6032. This is the Brother Seamus Show. We're going live. I'll change the dates and details later. Welcome to the show, everybody. I've got some music for you today by Wicker Basket. Wicker's been my go-to musician the past few streams. I feel like it goes good with what I'm hoping is a kind of a late night. I'm hoping to give you that late night public access TV vibe. Now, some of you may be too young for public access TV, but it's still around. It's the TV channel that you get for free when a city allows a cable company. Let's say, we'll just say Comcast, for example. When Comcast comes to a new city, this is back in the day, they would string their cables all over the frickin' place, right? They'd make a big mess of it. And to pay the city back, to pay the people back, a cable company like Comcast back in the 80s, the cities said, well, you got to pay us. You can't just run your shit all over the city. You got to do something for the city. You want to sell your product into people's homes through a cable that you're connecting to all the public thoroughfares, to all the infrastructure. You got wiring, you're going here, you're going there, you're drilling holes in people's houses. So they had to give the city a free channel. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm oversimplifying it a bit, but that is basically what public access TV is. And it's TV that you can go to. John Q. Citizen, Susie Q. Public can walk in and do a TV show. Or whatever you want. And a lot of people record church services, and that's kind of cool if you're into church. I'm not really into church. I am into, I don't know, comedy, politics, religion. Right now, mostly all I'm going to do is talk about abortion, because I can't believe we actually decided we're just going to kill women. I know that sounds bad, and some people say I'm not supposed to say the K word on TikTok. But I think of myself as being a public access TV yapper, I think is what the kids call it now. If you're a Gen Z, tell me if I'm using the word yapper correctly. I think I am. I think I'm using it correctly. My camera looks a little bit low. No, I don't like showing the curtain rail. There we go. I just need to back up a little bit, people. I'm crowding in on the camera. Nobody needs that. Nobody needs that. So my point is, this is a public access TV show, and I want you to I want you to watch it. I hope you mostly listen to it. I hope you mostly listen at night. But you can do it any time that suits you, obviously. Any time that suits you. And I'll try to play mostly some delicious Am I Boomer? I'm going to play mostly relaxing music. It sounds like, oh, I've got an alarm. It's 11 a.m., folks. That's the earliest I try to get on the air. I'm going to try to play relaxing music, but I want to just let you know I'm about to play a track that's a little more, it's got some bump to it. And this is a track called Feeler, W-I-P, by a young fella named Wicker Basket who performs out there in Michigan somewhere. Oh, commercials. Thank you, SoundCloud, for giving me the damn commercials. All right, we're going to come back to play Feeler at some other point. I guess I'll let it play right now until the ads run out. So this is the Brother Seamus Show. We're live on YouTube and TikTok at Brother Seamus Show. Feel free to ask questions in the comments. You don't feel obliged to participate. I like it when people lean back and enjoy. And I want you all to know, if you live in a city of any size, you probably have a cable access TV station that probably needs your help. And I encourage you to go down there and get involved in the public access TV scene if it still survives. In a lot of cities, it gets taken over by the city government, which is fine, but they don't always have a lot of help. And anyway, get down there. I see Ronnie G's online. Baba Ganoush. Baba Ganoush to you, Ronnie G. I think if you want to call in at 509-676-6032, I'll get your voice on the air if you've got something good to say. I'm trying to put a happy face on Ronnie G's comment, but all I found was a weird pink screaming face. So I just want you to know I'm not screaming at anybody. So many emojis, so many emotions, people. All right, let's hear some Wicker Basket. See if I can rewind it without getting a fucking commercial. Sorry for the F-bombs, people. I'm not generally an F-bomber. All right, here we go. This is Wicker Basket live. Not live, sorry. I'm live. Wicker Basket. Wicker Basket is recorded. Let's see if I can show you this track. There's a young Wicker Basket. This, I think, is an older collection. We're hearing Feeler, W-I-P. Feeler IP, or Feeler WIP by Wicker Basket. see if I can make this track start over. I think it's going to try to give us a commercial. So I'm going to just pull it. Let's see. Oh. Hey, it worked. It worked. It worked. I'm not going to go all the way to the beginning, because then it'll start over. Oh, this is from 5 months ago. This is new stuff by Wicker Basket. Looks like he's officially out of Grand Rapids. I've heard of Grand Rapids. Not really sure where it is. We're out here in Walla Walla, Washington, folks. Talking about abortion today. We've been way too weak in our defense of abortion. We've had a weak-kneed, scaredy cat defense of abortion. We need to step it up, people. But I'll let you listen to Wicker. I gotta go make another cup of coffee. I feel like I'm hearing two songs at once. Or was that part of... This is Crosswinds by Wicker Basket out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, people. A little bit more of an ambient feel by Wicker. Oh, there's a nice beat to it. All right, I'm going to make sure my face gets on camera for just a second. TikTok has a very interesting algorithm, robotic thing it does where it tries to make your face be on screen all the time. And it gets mad if you're not on screen. It thinks you're doing something. I don't know what it thinks I'm doing, but I wanted to be on screen for a minute. And let's see how it's looking over on YouTube. once again, TikTok's trying to make me take a poll. AB does not save us from death. That is propaganda. Sorry, Cindy Seal 1. Let me turn this music down just a little bit. If you stick around, Cindy, I'll explain why. I support your view. I don't agree with your view, but I support your right to believe that quote-unquote life starts at conception. Fraction of 1%. That's my favorite. I think you're arguing against my point, Evelina. Tell me if that's true. You're saying only a fraction of 1% of women need abortions to save their lives. Ooh, ancient alien communication. This is over on TikTok. If you're watching on TikTok, Ronnie G just said one of the best things I've heard in a long time. Ancient alien communication is channeled through wicker basket's oral activity. I'm going to pin that message on YouTube, and I want to thank Ronnie G. Ronnie G's like my new super fan. So let me know what you think about how abortion saves women, because it absolutely, completely, positively does. Absolutely. Uh-oh, we got commercials coming in, people. I'm going to talk over the commercials until I hit the mute button. Thank God.
For all the hot showers.
All right, so that was a little taste of wicker basket. We'll come
safe,
back later.
reliable natural gas from
I am
DTE.
going to...
We keep gas safe by
I am
constantly
going to
inspecting,
get off this
upgrading, and
page
monitoring our lines 24/7, 365.
because
So for
they're
all
running
you do,
ads.
natural gas is there for you.
Let's play some wicker
Find out
basket
more
that
at
I've got in the
dteenergy.com. DTE.
This is a 45-minute track by Wicker Basket. Uh-oh, that's pretty loud. I don't remember this one. Oh, this is a different Wicker Basket, isn't it? All right, folks. I'm going to leave this running for a minute. This is not the Wicker Basket that I was expecting. But I'm glad it's here. This is the Brother Seamus Show. We stand up for abortion. No Name for You says, LOL, is what a ridiculous statement. I must have missed something. I don't think I said anything was ridiculous. Oh, you're saying abortion saves women from death by miscarriage is a ridiculous statement. Okay, or it saves women. If that's correct, No Name for You, let me know. You guys, I want to encourage you all to write a little bit more clearly. So if you're attacking abortion saves women from death by miscarriage, if you don't mind, I'm just being a good professor here, if you don't mind, say what it is you agree or disagree with. Oh, I see. I'm getting music from a whole... They're forcing music on me over here, people, at SoundCloud. Well, how about this? I'm getting rid of that altogether. Getting rid of that altogether because that was not Wicker Basket. I apologize for the slip up. But yeah, let me know. If you don't mind, write comments that I can understand a little bit better, because sometimes they go by so fast. I don't know if you're arguing with somebody in the chat. If the baby is miscarried, it's not abortion. User 5933-5607-560. You're absolutely wrong. In Georgia, Texas, Alabama, Idaho, and I believe, it depends on which states have enacted these laws, but they basically are saying you can't have, if you have a miscarriage and it doesn't work, because miscarriages don't always come off exactly the way they're supposed to, and you need your uterus. I mean, this is a little harsh for this early in the morning, but when you need the fetal tissue is still clinging in the uterus, it can cause excessive bleeding and infection, from which you may ultimately perish. But the procedure you need is called a DNC, and the states, every single one of them considers a DNC an abortion. So it absolutely is an abortion. It doesn't matter that you're miscarrying. The state doesn't care. Some of these states don't care. And just to be clear, if you think somehow that you're gonna, let's say you live in a state like Walla Walla, or if you live in Walla Walla, Washington, and you think your state has you protected, you are protected for now. But if there's a national abortion ban, which is what the Trump allies want, which is what they've always wanted, they've been fighting for it for 50 years, there's a chance that when you are having a miscarriage, even if you're somebody that doesn't believe in abortion, but if you're having a miscarriage and you need a DNC, that's an abortion, and you're not going to get it, and that's how these women are dying. Oh, I'm not lying, I promise you. Was 9/14? I'm absolutely telling the truth, and I can prove it. I can prove it. You know why? Because young women as young as 18 are dying. There's two that died in Texas and 2 that died in Georgia. We know their first names. We know their last names. You probably could go visit their gravestone if you don't believe me. Oh, I'll prove it was 9/14. I'm glad you're here, though. I don't you think I'm mad at you. I think you've just been brainwashed. So Dr. Seamus is here. I am actually a licensed psychologist. I'm here to do a little brainwashing, people. Y'all want to get some brainwashing on? And I'm not saying it to be mean. I think anybody can be brainwashed. Anybody can be brainwashed. Let me get some music back on. I'll get to my proof here in a second, but I wanted to get you some tunes. We want to keep it cool because, some people are listening. This is live at about 8:15 in the morning in Walla Walla, Washington. We're talking about abortion, but I don't want to get too worked up because one of my theories, one of my hypotheses, it's not really mine, it's just basic science, but you can't really get to the bottom of these issues. You and I can't really get to the bottom of these issues if we're all worked up. You know what I'm saying? So hang loose, everybody. You're a doc. Was 9/14 is a doc. And so if you're a doc, explain what sepsis is and how it can kill a woman having a problematic miscarriage. And if you don't know that, then you're not a doc. And so now who's lying? Didn't you accuse me of a lie? Oh yeah, there you are. You lie, Was 9/14 says. I do appreciate you being here, Was 9/14, because the more that you get worked up, which is not good for you, I want you to know that it's not good for you. You will drive people into this live, though. I don't know if y'all understand that, but where's the camera? There it is. The more upset you get and the more angry you get, the more you're helping my show, and I honestly, truly appreciate it. I really do. I got to go get my coffee because I don't even hear it. It's supposed to be making a lot of steamy noises.
Brother Seamus Show.
Welcome to the Brother Seamus Show. 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to the Brother Seamus Show. To the Brother Seamus Show. Well. By the way, if you're not familiar with counter speech, this statement is an attempt at counter speech. I think it's actually quite good. This statement, for those of you who agree with me, I want you to put this in your hip pocket, as they say. Abortion saves women. So when people say abortion kills babies, what you do is you delete the last two words, because that's where the pernicious lie is. It's a lie that's been told for 50 years, maybe more than that. And you add the actual scientific truth, which is without abortion, women die of complicated miscarriages, we'll call them. So abortion actually saves women. That's actually a fact. And I think it's high time that we stopped being ashamed of abortion and we stopped treating it like it's some sort of terrible sin, because it's not. It's a medical procedure that saves people, saves humans with uteruses from dying. Is it uteri? You got any wordsmiths out there? Uteri or uterus? Let me know. Brother Seamus Show. Welcome back to the Brother Seamus Show, people. I don't have much time. You can still get your abortion, Justin Timms 2 says. You can still get your abortion. Let's see. Let's take a look. I think my audio's a little too high right now. Let's bring the music down. Just a smidge. Let's bring it down on the computer as well. All right, let's see. You can still get your abortion where, oh wait, let's see. D's saves women from death by nuts. Okay. Kind of rude, but I get your humor there. Rude boy humor on a Saturday morning in Walla Walla, Washington. Really, what the definition of abortion is? Yes, it is, Eric. I think you're probably being sarcastic, but it's hard to read sarcasm. The trick that has been played on everybody, Eric, is that abortion kills babies. The trick is that they're not babies. That's a lie that you've been told for a long time, and so it upsets people. But my point is, Eric, that your idea of what a baby is a mistake. Just kind of based on the definition of the word, the definition of a baby is that it's a fully functioning human that can survive outside of another human. Right? That's what a baby is. A baby possesses emotions and consciousness. But what the radical right has done, and they're very good at it, they've been doing it for decades. Since I was little, I've been hearing and seeing things on the news about how abortion kills babies. And you know what? Your brother Seamus is here to tell you that's some BS. They've been BSing. They want you to think of a fetus as a baby. So, Eric, let's go back to your statement. Let's pick on you for a minute. Really, is what the definition of abortion is saving lives? I think what you're saying sarcastically is that really what the definition of abortion is, saving lives? And I'm saying yes. Abortion's a medical procedure that saves lives. That's exactly what I'm saying. You've been tricked into thinking it kills babies, and that's okay. I was tricked into it too, but then I got out. And let's see what's going on here on over on YouTube at Brother Seamus Show. If people understood Didakind cuts, they would realize high places can be achieved. Sarcasm is hard to read, but easy to spell. Dyslexia. That's very good, Azai Lobi. I'm not sure. Ronnie retracted a message, but I already pinned his original message. If you're joining us on YouTube, my super fan Ronnie started us off early with this statement: ancient alien communication is channeled through wicker basket's oral wavelengths. And I believe he's exactly right about that. You're hearing Wicker Basket, an artist out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. You can find him on SoundCloud. He's got some new stuff. 5 months old stuff. That does not consider abortion. That is considered a DNC by having a miscarriage and having that done, Kelly says. I'm not sure exactly what you're saying there. I'd like you to, as your English 101 professor, I want you to rewrite that paragraph more clearly. But I'm going to take a stab at what I think you're saying. If you're already having a miscarriage, I think Kelly's arguing incorrectly. Her argument is well-intentioned but incorrect because she's clinging to the idea that fetuses are babies, and they're not. But what you're saying is, oh, your body caused the miscarriage, right? Because that happens in depends on who you read, 1 out of 8, 1 out of 10. Women will have some sort of miscarriage event, especially in the first 3 months. Why? Because pregnancy's dicey business. And Mother Nature's a mad scientist. So stuff happens. Kelly's arguing incorrectly that if you need a D&C, which is an abortion, it's basically a procedure where they're, not to be crude, but they're vacuuming out the uterus because the failed attempt at producing human life is now being ejected from the uterus, and if it doesn't all get ejected, you get infected. If there is no ejection, then you will find yourself with an infection. I wish it wasn't such a disturbing idea, because those are fun words to play with. So Kelly, here's the thing. You clearly don't understand how hospitals and providers work, because the minute you do a D&C, you are legally required to write down what you did, and it has a procedure code, and the insurance companies don't give a rat's patootie whether it was done as an emergency to save a woman's life or whether it was done electively. It's the same procedure. And those of you, well, thank you for that. Not Magnificent over on the TikToks is saying, please be crude. People need to understand what happens in an abortion. So I kind of agree with you. Not Magnificent. I like your name, so I'm going to follow you. I don't follow based on political stuff exclusively, because I don't think that the anti-abortion people, for the most part, I think you're just misguided. I said brainwashed earlier. Don't take that too hard. I could be brainwashed. Maybe I am brainwashed. If I'm really brainwashed, I won't know it, right? That's a fun idea. Except for, you know what helps us with that idea? Science. There's a thing called science, people. We can use it to our great advantage, sometimes to our peril. How come I can't follow Not Magnificent? Your request? Oh, it's a private. Okay, good for you, Not Magnificent. 0.1% of abortions. Carl comes in today. I think Carl on TikTok with a K. How you doing, Carl? Carl, that argument gets tried over and over again, and I'm just happy. I'm happy as all get out to swat that idea down. But let me fix my titles first. I'm not just the performer. I'm not just the performing monkey for this show. I'm also the tech guy. And I just think that abortion saves women is bigger than it needs to be, and we could slide it down. Maybe put it down in the corner. What do you think about that, people? Is that better? That might be better. Getting some hearts, so I'm going to keep after it. I do have to go bowling here in about, 5 minutes. I'm going to come back later so we can talk more about this. But before I go, I want to make sure I show you my merch, and I'll go ahead and swat down that argument for Carl. That's an interesting point, Lady Jane. I'll come back to that in a future episode. We'll see if that's true. Let me know your source, Lady Jane 940. I like what you're throwing down. I'm not sure. I avoid the word ironical because I don't really know. It's got too many definitions there, Lady Jane. But I just followed you because that name is a good name. A D&C is a termination either way and not being done for miscarrying women causing death. We'll have to come back to that, Lady Jane. I wanted to get to Carl's point, which is 0.1% abortion. So, Carl, I think what you're suggesting, I hope you're not, and I don't know if you realize you're suggesting this, but aren't you suggesting that it's okay to kill some women? Just not too many. Just not too many, Carl. We have a procedure right over here that can save their lives that we've had for decades because it's common sense. When somebody's having a miscarriage, it didn't work. The pregnancy didn't work. That's why Mother Nature gives you tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands at birth of eggs and bazillions of sperms. Nobody even knows how many sperms we got. It's too high to count. So when it doesn't work, the body tries to eject that fetal tissue, but it doesn't always eject it cleanly. The D&C is where your uterus gets cleaned out. And I know that's upsetting. If you imagine that tiny fragments of the beginnings of human life are a human, you're going to see this as a horrible thing. And that's what the far-right anti-abortionists have trained you to think. That's why they use those giant over-enlarged photos of fetal tissue. It's not a person. I know it looks like a person, but it's not. And if you don't get the fetal tissue cleaned out, it almost immediately starts turning into an infection, which can quickly kill you, as we learned from ProPublica.org. And if you want to read those stories, I'll read them to you later. So if you tune into the show, you're going to hear about them either way. So Carl, it's not okay. There's not like some number of women that it's okay to kill them because it's only 0.1%. Only 0.1%. Okay. Oh shoot, I gotta go, people. I'll be back here later. I'm sorry to cut this short, but it's time for my Saturday bowling league. I want you to just think about this. I hope you'll share this with your friends. Follow me on TikTok and YouTube. If you don't mind, follow me on both, because then I can spread this further and wider. And if you disagree with me, I respect you, but I'll let you know why I disagree with you. There you go, Lady Jane. Abortions have always happened. They're just going to become more unsafe, which is why we had Dobbs. I think that you mean that's why we had Roe versus Wade. I think, Lady Jane, you're on my side, but I get confused when I'm reading comments. Yeah. Yeah, it's basically, the bottom line is what abortion actually does is it saves women, it saves regular humans with uteri, from dying. And it always has. It always has. I think once the earliest humans figured out that you could take certain medicines to help your body recover from a miscarriage, they probably, they were probably performing abortions, but they just didn't call it that back then. And I'll argue, as I always have, that until your consciousness switches on, which involves the thalamal cortex, until your thalamal cortex is working, people, there's nobody home. It's like an airplane without a pilot. It's a vessel. So don't get too caught up in this anthropomorphizing where you put human attributes on something that's not yet fully human. It's gonna be. It's a potential human, is the way I like to think of it. Some people find that very offensive, and I apologize, but I'm going to keep talking about it because I think once you calm down and think about it, I think you might actually agree.